Everyone, my name is Miss Brenner. I hope you're all doing well and staying happy and healthy. This is going to be our week 1 agenda. I know there's a lot to talk about, and I don't want this agenda to be horribly long, so let's dive right in. Once again, this is your week 1 agenda, so I'm going to be going over all of your assignments for week 1 in this video. As you can see, once you have logged into our Schoology page and classroom, if you scroll down past all of the folders at the top that I'll go over in the welcome video and the other videos, you will find week 1. So for activity 1, you are going to complete all of the assignments in this virtual classrooms procedures folder. And then you are going to take the online learner contract, which is a test that makes sure you understand everything that was in this green folder and just information about you. After that, you're completing your recent reading reflection, which is a short writing piece about the most recent piece of literature that you have completed, whether that was something that you read in another class or something that you read during silent reading, which we typically do about 30 minutes of silent reading a day. And then you're going to share your recent reading reflection writing to this discussion post, so that way we can have a conversation with the other students in our class. In this post, like I said, you're going to post it, and then you're going to respond with a minimum of 50 words in a netiquette appropriate manner. I go over the whole idea of being netiquette in the video in the virtual classroom folder. Alrighty, continuing on. Activity 2. This is going to be a very straightforward project telling me a little bit about you. So there's a directions video that you will have to watch through Edpuzzle. Here is the directions and discussion rubric. This is the set of slides that you will use through Google Slides. I put in links to how to use Screen App IO. I go over all the directions and expectations in this video, so that's why I'm kind of going through this quickly. This is how to use a screen recorder that was approved by the high school that should be compatible with your laptops. If for any reason you are having issues with screencasting, please feel free to contact me. I would be happy to talk to you or try and come up with an alternate solution. This is a link to the website that you will use to use that screen recorder. And then this is the discussion post where we're going to be able to look at everyone's videos and talk a little bit about what we have in common, our differences, our interests, and how we can make this a wonderful class together. Activity 3. So this is a science fiction class, but it's also mixed in with fantasy and horror as content genre areas. So we are going to be starting off with fantasy. And so we're looking at a little bit of Shakespeare, a little bit of more modern fantasy, a little bit of concepts of chivalry and knightly valor, and then we will be moving further into other genres. So we have a Shakespeare web quest. So there are 2 videos about Shakespeare. Shakespeare links. So these are the links to all the websites you will need in order to complete the web quest. And the web quest looks like this. It looks like this. And so it's fill in the blank. For a portion of it, the web link is also there, but it is also in the list of links in case you should have any issues. Part 2 is answering questions. There are 3 separate links here for you to use in order to answer these questions. We have words and phrases that were coined by Shakespeare that we are looking for. Shakespearean insults, which we can only use in this class. Don't use them to insult your siblings. And then information about folklore as far as fairies, because we are going to be reading A Midsummer Night's Dream in the near future. Alrighty. So that covers activity 3. Activity 4 is notes on chivalry. So there's an Edpuzzle where I go over short information about chivalry, what it is, different elements of chivalry during the time period of Chaucer, which is what we are going to start reading this week. So we have our notes on 8 elements of chivalry. We are also going to be looking at a little bit of mythology, talking about Hippolyta and Theseus. So these are guided reading questions that hit on the information discussed in these two Edpuzzles and these two documents. And then we have a discussion about Theseus and Hippolyta, who would make a better ruler. They are both very different, but they were both kings and queens of their own areas, and so therefore they have their strengths and their weaknesses, and who you think would make a better ruler. We are then going to be starting to look at Chaucer's Tales from Canterbury, and this is The Knight's Tale. The Knight's Tale talks a little bit about Theseus and Hippolyta as central characters, and so we are going to pool our knowledge about these characters and look at them through the perspective of a different time period, which is that of The Knight's Tale. So we're going to read parts 1 and 2. We have questions for parts 1 and 2 of The Knight's Tale. We have a discussion post for parts 1 and 2 of The Knight's Tale. There is an audio link if you would like to listen to The Knight's Tale, and the timestamp. Part 2 is an abridged version. Part 1 is the full text, which has the Middle English next to modern day language, so you can more easily understand. And the audio is in Middle English. However, I think the audio really helps to better understand the story, and it works pretty fast-paced. The chunk that we are listening to for part 1 is about 20 minutes. And then lastly, we are going to work on arc leveling. Now, arc leveling has to do with our silent reading that we do for 30 minutes every day. As far as arc leveling, there is a directions video right here that you will need to watch before beginning. And in each folder, there is a short reading passage, typically about a page, and a very brief quiz with 3 questions in it that you will need to answer that are all short answer questions. So you will need to complete Bronze 1, Bronze 2, Silver, and Gold, along with the ARC vocab and the vocab worksheet. All of this is discussed in more detail in the directions video. Alrighty, those are all of our pieces of information for this week. I'm sorry, there was a loud noise. I'm pretty sure a bird just hit my window. Alright, so with that being said, silent reading is every day for 30 minutes. Your silent reading tracking sheet for weeks 1 through 5 is in this red folder. So every day after you've completed your 30 minutes, or maybe you want to break it apart into 15 here and 15 there, that's perfectly fine. Whatever you silently read, you are going to log then in your silent reading tracking sheet. And you get points for that, and it's also logged towards your graduation through an online program for the state. With that, as far as your silent reading, it cannot be anything that is read in this class for an assignment. So you cannot use the Canterbury Tales, the Knight's Tale that we are reading this week as your silent reading. Alrighty guys, once again, if you have any questions for me as far as when we can Zoom for office hours, or how do I open this assignment, or how do I screencast, please send me an email. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. We are opening this week early because we're opening it on a Friday. Typically, I'm going to open weeks on a Sunday night, and that means that if it opens on Sunday night, then your assignments will be due the following Monday, the next week, at 8 a.m. So this week, your assignments are opening on Friday, January 21st, and they will close on January 31st, which is a Monday at 8 a.m. You can see all of that here along the side. Alrighty guys, if you have any questions, send me an email. I am in class with students throughout the day entirely, so I cannot promise you that I will be able to respond immediately, but I do check my email throughout the day frequently up till about 3 p.m. And then the next morning I check around 7:30. So email me if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.